Life's often full of good news and bad news. Learning how to navigate both is one of the challenges that we often face. And today, I have good news and bad news for you. But luckily, it's more good than bad. So let me hit you with it. First, some good news. If you've watched any of my rhetorical analysis essay writing videos, you'll know that I could template your rhetorical analysis topic sentences no problem at all. One template filled in correctly, and you're golden. But here's the bad news. The same is not entirely possible with argument topic sentences. Since arguments can go in so many directions, a one-size-fits-all template is incredibly hard to generate, but that didn't stop me from trying. I have to admit, I can follow up this bad news with a little bit more good news. Though I can't offer you a precise template per se, I can offer you a topic sentence structure that is guaranteed to help establish a strong line of reasoning throughout your paper, if you use it correctly. So come along on today's journey where I show you what this format looks like. Now, before I exemplify the format, I want to just give a quick shout out to Ms. Rodriguez's AP Lang students at West Covina High School. I hope you Bulldogs cherish your instructor. She's doing all that she can to help best prepare you for test day and for life. As we work to consider how to generate topic sentences, I want to quickly remind you that I'm using the warning labels prompt that you can find in the AMSCO text and that you'll see right here on your screen. When it comes to writing your topic sentences, you want to make sure that you follow the direction set forth in your thesis. The thesis for my paper is this. Although many individuals can find just about any situation offensive and it's incredibly unrealistic to apply warning labels to everything, placing cautionary labels and ratings on commonly agreed upon troubling content is appropriate. So, as I begin to consider how I'm going to create my topic sentences for my paper, I need to recognize that my first topic sentence needs to concede a point. And then my next topic sentence or sentences will have to then focus on proving my argument that warning labels are appropriate. To create my topic sentences, I'm going to rely on the general structure presented at the bottom of the screen right here. Each one I write needs to include transitional language, a somewhat specific reference to the example that will be described further on in the paragraph, and a connection to the argument that's set forth in the thesis. The transitional language helps to link paragraphs together, and it is one of the ways that you can make sure you're establishing a strong line of reasoning throughout your paper. But I don't want you to just think about transitional language as saying things like first, second, third. First, second, third. Stuff like that. No. You want to consider transitional language as being any word or phrase that establishes a relationship between the thoughts of one paragraph and another, or the thoughts between one paragraph and your thesis. So when you generate your topic sentences, whether they be your first, middle, or last, always try to include a phrase that makes sure to answer any of these questions. Does this paragraph provide the foundation of my argument? Does this paragraph add to previously mentioned points in my argument? Does this paragraph compare to other points in my argument? Does this paragraph contrast to other points in my paper? Does this paragraph introduce something entirely new? Does this paragraph concede anything? Does this paragraph refute any potential argument that could be brought up against mine? The answer to any of these questions will help you generate the transitional language that you're looking for. If you're looking for some quick and common phrases that tie to some of these questions, just take a peek right below this video. In the description, you'll find a document with some suggested transitional language, the topic sentence template with some examples, and you'll find a link to a Garden of English transitional language poster. Now, back to the topic sentences. Since my first paragraph has to concede a point, I'm actually going to fill in the transitional language element of my topic sentence template with this particular clause. Just about anyone can admit that. The language provides a clear indication that I'm going to begin by dealing with a common truth that is unavoidable. It just so happens that's exactly where my thesis says I'm going to start my paper as well. Now, after this transitional element in this topic sentence, I'm then going to shift to add in the next required element of my topic sentence, which is a somewhat specific reference to the example I'll be thoroughly describing and exploring in the paragraph. Gee, I wonder where I could find that information. I wonder. I know, if you watched my last video about finding evidence, this is the information that I recorded in my second column of that evidence organizer that I showed. If you didn't watch my last video, well, you should. It will help you easily generate strong evidence for your arguments. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add, right after that transitional phrase, the language that says recent controversies surrounding holiday marketing practices of private and public institutions. I'm just taking this from the organizer and I'm going to put it right in there after the transitional language. And you'll see my topic sentence is coming along rather nicely. I've got some transitional language. I have a reference to the example that I'm going to include in the paragraph. Now, for the last part of the topic sentence, I need to make sure that the argument I'm tying my example to is clearly articulated. the argument I add must also relate to the argument in my thesis. So you'll notice how in the first part of my thesis, I argue that individuals can find just about anything offensive and it's unrealistic to label everything. Well, since I'm using holiday marketing practices to prove exactly this, I just need to pull these ideas directly from my thesis and put them in my topic sentence. I might not want to word it the exact same way, but the ideas will be the same. So I'm going to add how the general examples I mentioned highlight the incredibly temperamental nature of the human psyche, making it quite hard to entirely monitor all of the troublesome content that's out there. Amazingly, I now have a strong topic sentence that follows the general template I provided earlier in this video. There's transitional language, a general reference for an example to follow, and a link to the overall argument. A topic sentence with these qualities begins to construct a strong line of reasoning, and it helps guide you through the rest of your paragraph. To actually write my full paragraph, I'd have to describe the year-end holiday marketing practices in detail. That's what would come next. I'll actually cover it in my next argument video. And then I would move to provide commentary that explains how my detailed examples prove that humans are temperamental, and that would make it really hard to monitor and label everything that's out there. Now, just so that you can see how this same template would work for the rest of the essay when the paragraphs are not trying to concede points, I want to make sure that I could show you a few more examples. So here they are. These examples will also be included in the document found right below this video. By the way, while you're looking right below the video, don't forget to click that thumbs up, press subscribe, and even potentially consider partnering with the Garden of English as a channel member. If I were to produce topic sentences 2 and 3 and consider the same template, they'd look like this. These are so well written and so well planned out, I've actually already done all of the thinking for my essay just in writing these 3 sentences and my thesis. When you look at my examples, you'll notice that I have all of the elements of the topic sentence color-coded so that you can actually see how each piece clearly fits together. And now I'm glad that you have a clear concept of what it takes to build a strong topic sentence that will direct a line of reasoning throughout your paper. But, young Padawan, there is always more to learn, especially when it comes to how you can best integrate your evidence into your argument body paragraphs, which is exactly what I explain in the video right here.